Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today again we're going to be going back in time and taking a bit of a retro look at the Transformers Generation 1 Headmaster HARDHEAD. Now, like I talked about in my review of Chrome Dome, I'm going to be going back and taking a look at all these original Generation 1 Headmasters. That way you can kind of see the evolution of these characters into what we're getting for the Titans Return line. And much like Chrome Dome, HARDHEAD here was introduced in the Rebirth and was subsequently made into a Headmaster with Duros as his Neblonian counterpart. Now in the Japanese series, that never existed. HARDHEAD is the actual head, and then this whole body is actually a transector that was developed on the planet Master, which had very harsh conditions and they needed to survive. So they worked, trained, studied, and became Transformers that transformed into heads for these transectors. As you can see here, we got a nice kind of four-tread kind of tank going on here. I'm sure that there is an actual design for this, like an H tank or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a militaristic kind of person. But really very cool. It is a little bit loose right here. This is a original G1 toy, obviously, so age does kind of show. One thing that I'll say, when I did get this, the stickers were really bad on it. So I did go to Repro Labels and buy new stickers to replace the original ones, but they look terrific on here. You can see for his kind of armament, you got his weapons that plug in here in two different spots, and then the actual shoulder cannon is permanently attached to him. You can open up the cockpit, and here is Duros. Again, it depends on what kind of continuity you go by. Now, I mean, I appreciate both, and I do believe the Headmaster or the Titan return figures that we're going to be getting from Hasbro does have this as being like a Neblonian kind of thing. But coming in here to take a closer look at that, you can see great detail on it. Again, much like the Styler was, you got a whole molded chest section here. They are different. Maybe the arms are reused or something. Let me actually, I got them sitting right here. I'm curious. Get this out of here. Come here, let's see. No, yeah, the arms, oh no, yeah, the arms and legs are basically the same, but obviously the head section is going to be remolded, and then the chest is obviously different, but you do have this different chest and everything like that. So there were some reused parts, but you know, hey, we're kind of used to that, right? But overall, really good looking. Come around here to the back, and you have his larger robot mode head, and then you got the little flap that comes up here. So to transform him, you're going to rotate that around like so. And then you bring this around much like all the other Headmasters, and boom, there you have them. Again, you can see that you got a different length for these little tabs here that translate to having different abilities and powers in his larger mode. But overall, really good looking head sculpt here. It is different. But overall, really nice look here on the tank. Like I said, you have these weapons that plug in here. One thing that is cool is you can still open this when you have the weapon plugged into that slot right there. And then this one right here just pegs into his little screw hole. But you got really nice weapons here. I do kind of wish that they were a little bit more mirror opposite. That way you can put that there and it kind of hides the kind of openness of that there. It's just one of those things that, you know, when you have them both in his hand, this hand looks pretty good because it's going to be in his left hand or whatever, and it's going to look good from the opposite side, but you're always going to see that side on there. So I do kind of wish it was mirror opposited, if that makes any sense. But now to transform him, what you do is it's a very similar transformation to what Chrome Dome had. I don't know why I did it like that, but you just push this up just like so. You bring this around, you lock that into place, you bring these little sections down. This is a new bit right here, obviously, but the whole flipping here of the torso is very similar to how Chrome Dome's was. You rotate that down just like so. You take these little feet, which can be a bit of a pain in the butt to get out. You got a little slot right here that you kind of push. There we go. Get that down like that. There we go. Is that straight? Maybe. There we go. Pull that down just like so. Angle back so you can see what's going on. Take this whole section, rotate this back, and you actually have a little peg right here that slots into that little section right there, so it kind of holds it into place. Take these arms, rotate these out, bring his hands out, Do that on that side as well. And then you just take this section, angle that back just like that. Now, in a lot of different figures, mine is very fortunately in good condition, but this will break on a lot of people's figures, so you do have to be careful. As you can see, very stiff, and there is a little bit of a stress mark right there. It's not bad or anything, but if you're doing it, just be careful when you're doing it, because that is something that will break over time. A lot of it has to do with these little tabs right here that kind of securely lock that into place. But you can definitely see a little bit of a stress mark that is formed over time, but it's pretty decent nonetheless. And then you just take his head, you plug it in, and boom, you can see that his strength goes really all the way up to the top. He's got about a 5 or so in terms of speed, and his intelligence is a little bit higher, maybe about a 6 or so. So in general, a really sturdy character. You bring that back up, and I'm just going to lock that into place. And then you take these guns, put them in there. And this is what I was kind of talking about. So like from this side, the gun looks good, and then when you look at this side, you got that gapping right there. So that's kind of annoying, but again, I had to replace the sticker. So these are not the original stickers on here, but they still look really very good. The rub symbol here is actually still original, but you can see a similar kind of look to Chrome Dome, mostly in the way that his torso transforms. For his articulation, again, the head is locked in. I guess you can move that up and down if you want to, and then the shoulders just rotate around. I guess maybe wrist articulation, but it only goes backwards, and then that's it. There's nothing at the legs or anything like that. These guys are a little bit more simplistic in their nature, but still look cool nonetheless. You know, some of the other Headmasters get a little bit more involved in the transformation and have a little bit more kind of thrown into them, but I'm really happy with this guy. But again, you can kind of see, like, I mean, very hollow and thin out here. So, I mean, all those things that we complain about nowadays with Transformers, I mean, the original ones had it too. So it's one of those things that when you look back at the history of Transformers, not really a lot has changed. And that's kind of why I wanted to do these sort of look backs at these G1 figures, because it gives you a little bit more of an appreciation of where they're coming from nowadays. Now to transform them back, you just take this, get rid of these little guns, take these hands, tuck them up just like so. Do that there. Of course, you're going to want to take off the head. Take these little sections, detach these, and you swivel these out to the side. And actually, there's a little tab, it's kind of hard to see actually, on the little gray piece way down here. You bring these up like so, and then you bring this in, and that locks into place, kind of securing it. Take the foot, rotate that back up. So again, I mean, you got the little tab, you can see it better right here. When you bring this out on the side, and then you bring this in, that actually slots into a groove section on the inside here of the black tread. So you get some of that security right there. So bring this up, and again, you got the little tab right here that plugs into the head section. Rotate this back just like so. Bring that all the way down. Very similar, like I was saying, to Chrome Dome, and then you just bring these pieces in, fill that back in like that, bring that back in, and there you have them opening that up. Coming down, you take Duros, or like I said, I mean, in the Headmaster series, this was actually who Hardhead was. So, like I said, it depends on your version of the continuity that you choose to follow. Take him, just kind of throw him in there, bring that down, and boom, there you have him. Again, really great toy. I do love the fact that a lot of these new Titan Returns figures have really nicely homaged the original look of these guys. I'm so excited about that line. But for the Generation 1 Hardhead, there's your look at them. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a look at all these vintage Headmaster figures, so hopefully you enjoy it. And if you do, don't forget to please like and comment, and be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review of mine. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So until next time, this has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.
I understand about